This is the week 1 video. You'll see training updates from myself, Lindsay, and Kat as we work on the different methods. We want to thank everyone for their name suggestions with this red mare. We had all really good ones. We decided after going through everything, Kat brought up a really good suggestion, which was the concept of Phoenix and rising out of the ashes. So we decided to name her Rising out of the Ashes is like, I guess, her paper name, and then Phoenix is her barn name. And the barn name just means that's what she's going to be called. So she'll be referred to as Phoenix, and just shows like resiliency and overcoming adverse circumstances. This is the second time filming. The first session we were the first time I set the camera we were completely out of range. But basically the recap on that one is she was very cautious, and I had to actually exit the pen for her to take the hay. But we tried again, and basically all I'm doing is I'm trying to stand very non-confrontational to the side, shift my weight back, take some deep breaths, and if she looks at me, I will start to offer the hay, and then my marker word is T. So once she looks, I'll say T, and then drop the hay, and then kind of retreat. So right here, trying to offer it, I'm really exaggerating my posture to be non-threatening. I know she can see me right now, so I'm just trying to really just wait until she kind of engages and mark the right behavior. So right here, I got it for a second, but I felt like I couldn't mark it, so I'm just gonna wait and just let her eat. It's really, this type of training is just kind of boring, just letting her figure things out. And now she wandered off, which is fine. I really want to get her where she's clearly looking at me to mark that. So I felt like I could mark that, so I said T, and I walked away, and then I just try to practice deep breathing. And the start of this, I gave really long, I really walked away. But as you progress in this training, you will walk away less and less, and you'll ask for more and more engagement. And that's just kind of how it works. And then we just let her finish the hay. But that was kind of this session. So this was the last session. Last time I set the camera to work with her this morning. And she's getting more confident, as you can see. And I kind of freaked her out with dropping it, but I was just trying to get a longer contact. It's not about her touching me, it's just more I'm getting more longer engagement. We're kind of upping what the reward gets. And of course we're trying to reward the smallest tribe and just letting her eat.
So this is me working with Phoenix using natural lifemanship principles. And natural lifemanship principles include asking horses for attachment with connection and then detachment with connection. So right here, I'm asking her for attachment with connection. To do that, we put pressure on their back hip. And by pressure, you can see I really just kind of have to look at it for her, and it kind of gets her attention where she turns her head and focuses on me. And then when she does that, I will release, and you can see I released there when she turned and connected with me. And so you release by walking away in an arc towards her hind end, because it gives her the most freedom of choice as to whether or not she's going to commit to follow me. And you can see that she kind of did just then, where she is turning, and then also will take a few steps towards me and follow me as I walk around the round pen. And so if she disconnects from me, you can see I just ask for connection again. So in this clip, I'm asking for detachment with connection. I thought she may be more comfortable with that because she doesn't want to be super close to us. It did appear to make her a little bit more nervous though, but that's okay. I haven't asked her for detachment with connection as much as I've asked her for attachment. To ask for detachment with connection, you just put pressure on their side, right behind their elbow where our leg would be if we ride them, So that was a really good detachment where she wasn't as nervous. And as soon as she detaches from me and moves away from me, I release that pressure to signal to her that she did what I wanted. But we put the pressure right where our leg would be when we're riding because, that makes sense. When we're riding them, we want them to move off of our leg. And so this is just kind of starting that on the ground. So here I've switched to asking her for connection, and there you can see when I turn my body towards her hip, she immediately turned towards me and connected. She was a little unsure, but there she kind of gets more of a commitment to reattach to me after I did a little bit of work with detachment. She gets a little distracted. I put the pressure back on. If I'm not getting enough attention by just looking at her back hip, you can see I just walk a little closer to her to increase that pressure a little bit. So if she's ignoring my request for connection, then I'm going to increase the pressure just slightly, increasing it at very, very small amounts until I get her attention. And then I'll immediately release the pressure. This is me asking for connection again. On the far side, I'm looking at her back hip. She turns and connects with me, so I release towards her back hip. And the complete release comes when I turn my back to her. And so here I just keep walking around. And there we lose our connection. She kind of ignores me, so I just put the pressure back on her hip. You can see me have to do it there again. She doesn't need a lot of pressure, and I release the second she starts to connect with me. And so the reason we look at their back hip is because it gives them the most freedom of choice to choose whether or not they want to connect with me, because they can easily walk off if they don't want to. They're not restrained. And then for them to connect with me, they have to turn their body. So they're really committing to the act of connecting. And so there I do it again, and you can see I'm getting more of a buy-in from her. She's turning, she's walking towards me, and she's following me. So I was really happy with that.